Welcome!
I'm Kristin.
And I'm Rebecca.
This is Southern Bells and Chilling Tales,
The podcast where we talk about all the crazy stuff such as the paranormal,
true crime,
cryptids,
aliens one day,
and anything else that we just want to talk about.
Yay, too bad for you.
They're like, and we're done here.
Yeah, out. I forgot. I was trying to say, like, welcome to Southern Bells and Chilling Tales. I'm Kristin and Rebecca. And then I say, but I'll put it in. I'll swap it in there.
I don't know. You look lost. And usually I'm the one that was lost. So it's just like,
thank you.
You're...
Yeah, who knows? Because I'm super lost right now. But luckily I've got paper with words on it, and that'll help.
Ooh, I hope it's English words and not just some random language.
We'll see.
Okay. That one time you decided you were going to learn Russian.
Oh, there was something else too. Anyway, I don't remember.
Yeah.
With our English language, there's so many different other languages that you throw them in, and I'm like, the fuck.
Yes. So.
And throw a Southern accent in there.
Makes it even more difficult. How have you been?
Out of it. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling. So, like I said, if I say anything really weird, please forgive me.
You can just edit it out.
I know, but sometimes it's not, like, if I edit out what I say, it doesn't make sense.
Gotcha.
You know? So, the nonsense that I don't edit out will make more sense than me editing it out. Because it's like, sometimes there's something that one of us says, then I'm kind of like, but it's like, if you remove it, well, the other person said that was good, it's like, I want to leave that in,
yeah.
You know? Otherwise, let me think. How am I doing? I'm doing okay, though. Plugging along, doing my norm, which is not much, but, but nothing exciting to tell. So, how are you?
I'm wonderful. So, two things. One is funny and one is not. Okay, so not funny. I got my new furniture, my new white couches, all by myself. So excited. Never been so excited to pay some bills.
And it is so pretty.
What?
It's so luxurious.
Yes, I'm going to go lay on my chaise later.
Yes, I need to take pictures.
Right? The second thing, which wasn't funny when it happened, but it's funny now. Okay, you know how I am about my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I love my teeth. I floss, I brush, I mouthwash, I take excellent care of my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of my favorite things about myself. Okay?
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yes. Because I have good teeth. I have shitty eyes. My body's not great, but my teeth are good. There's
shitty because they don't. Okay.
Yeah. Because I can't see.
I thought you were saying they weren't pretty.
No,
I'm like, your eyes are beautiful.
I'm blind. I can't see shit.
I was like, your eyes are beautiful.
Thank you. I just can't see. So, like, I love my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I get compliments when I go to the dentist on my teeth. So, I was hungry, and I was like, I need a snack. And there was a piece of pizza in the fridge. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to eat that piece of pizza. I'm going to be healthy. Don't want to get fat right here before summer. Summer body. There was a random jar of pickles. I was like, yes, I will have some pickles. So I bite into the pickle, and as I guess I'm like moving the pickle back to my back teeth, I bite down, and my teeth miss the pickle. And you know how your teeth slide off of each other? It's like, that horrible thing. Chipped my tooth.
Oh.
I was horrified. I will never eat a pickle again. Look at this. It's not pointy.
Your canine incisor?
Yes. Pointy on one side, not pointy on the other. Because of my pickle.
No,
I should have eaten the pizza.
I've always been the same about my teeth, and I've always had good teeth, never had a cavity, nothing. It was a couple years ago. Probably like 10 years ago. I say a couple.
A decade ago.
I don't remember what I chipped my tooth on. It was like the very back one.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm somebody that I go every time you're supposed to go.
Every 6 months.
I get checked. Same thing. They always like, wow, I was like, really good teeth, whatever. But it chipped, and so I let it go for a little while. So I ended up having to have a root canal.
Ooh.
I was like, what is this nonsense of having to have teeth work? And then now I got another one that's kind of chipped a little bit. So I'm like, what happened to my teeth?
Apparently we're old, and that's what happens when you get old.
And your teeth chip.
Anyway, do we have any updates about Mothman? Or corrections? No, they don't seem to be really loving the Mothman.
Why?
It's
been slow, all of it, lately.
Has it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because remember I said I was kind of surprised that not a lot of people listen to Night Stalker, but then they did.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Olivia, who always listens to this podcast.
Who's Olivia?
Jackson's girlfriend.
Oh, I forgot her name.
Don't put that in there.
What? I never met her. If I met her, I might.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still might not. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
Also to Travis, our friend Travis.
Your friend Travis, because I don't really know him.
But you
I saw him in high school.
Yeah, I mean, y'all just at least remember who each other are. I mean, we all know.
He probably doesn't remember who I am.
I'm sure he does.
Nobody knows who I am.
He's very observant. He's a super nice guy.
Oh, very good. So, what chilling tale do you have for us today?
I might be doing a two-parter.
Okay.
Only because I looked for one that was both true crime and paranormal.
Ooh.
So I'm super excited. So today's chilling tale is about the Amityville Horror.
Yes. Good choice.
I'm excited. Yeah, so I'm going to do the true crime part first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put in there that we're going to do a part 2, but if it's not that long, then I'll just squeeze it all into one. But
okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Yay!
But I think it's enough for 2.
As your 400 pieces of paper.
I think it's 10. And some of them are not really anything. They're just kind of like today's chilling tale. And also it's tiny and I forgot my glasses. So, Long Island, New York.
You have to say it right.
What?
New York.
I'm not even.
Sorry, people from New York. She refuses.
It's so funny. I was such a jerk in school. We went up there when I was 17.
In school, you were a jerk? Are you saying you grew out of this?
Now I can be kind of a jerk, but I don't know. It's on purpose now.
Okay.
You gotta really deserve it now.
All right.
I either love you or you're a asshole and I'm being one back. May the odds be ever in your favor.
What's your astrological sign?
Aries.
Ooh. One day we're going to have to look that. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do a whole thing about Aries and Virgo, and we're going to see how true it is.
Yeah? Oh, I'm there. Because I'm right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm a true September Virgo. Like,
you are.
Just check the boxes.
I've read it. Well, because I've got so many Virgos in my family, I read it, and I'm like, all right, you fit it more than
that's what I'm going to do next.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
That'll be fun. Oh, what I was saying there is, so I was in New York, and I was trying to order a hot dog. And, I've got my country accent was even worse back then. And so I didn't learn to enunciate because I had to in college and for, what do you call it? For
theater.
Speech class and then teaching and all that. But anyway, so they were like, what? So I was like, like such a dork. I was like, I would like a hot dog.
Did they know what you meant then?
Yes. But the look they gave me, I was like, well, you couldn't understand me.
They're like, we're going to drop this one on the ground and put it in the bun and hand it to you.
I was like, well, you were basically insulting me because I couldn't say hot dog the way you understand. I mean, how could you possibly hot dog? I mean, is it hot dog?
Maybe they just thought it was so funny they had to hear you say it again.
Could you repeat that?
We know what she's saying, but listen to her say hot dog. Hot dog.
I was like, well, I got you. I'll repeat in your
dialect.
So yeah, let's go with they were being an asshole too.
Sure.
But anyway.
Okay,
so Long Island, New York, 1974. In a small town of Amityville, on November 13th, 23-year-old Ronald J. DeFeo Jr. ran into Harry's bar screaming that his parents had been shot and killed. When police questioned him, he said he thought a mob hitman killed his family. He was taken to the police station for protection. But after more questioning and story changes, he confessed to killing his family. He later claimed insanity, saying demons made him do it. So
it was the devil.
The devil made me do it.
The devil made me.
So
my parents would beat me. I would never even make it to kill them. If I walked into my mom and dad's room with a gun, first off, both my parents have guns and knives all up in their room. Second of all, my mom's going to immediately wake up because that's the way she sleeps. Third of all, once my dad realizes what I'm doing, he's going to be like, what are you doing? Then, finally, they're going to beat me, and I'm never going to get to murder them. And the demons will not be happy.
See, I think that's what everybody thinks, and I think that's why everybody's like, this is such a mystery, because there almost seems to be a paranormal thing to why they didn't wake up. So I'll get into that.
Okay, all right, I'm just saying.
Okay. So, who were the DeFeos? They were a family of 7. Ronald Sr., 43, and Louise, I guess, 42.
Louise?
Louise.
That's Mama's middle name.
For the rest of this, I'm going to refer to Ronald, the son. Ronald Jr. is just Ronald. And if I'm talking about his dad, I'll say Ronald Sr.
Cool.
Because I have to say just Ronald more. Okay, so they had 5 children. Ronald was the oldest, 23. Dawn, 18. Allison, 13. Mark, 12. And John, 9. Thank God they're easy to pronounce names. The family lived in the affluent neighborhood of Amityville, New York, on Long Island. The 3-story Dutch colony home had a swimming pool and a boat dock. The family lived a lavish lifestyle. They even had life-size family portraits that cost over $50,000.
What?
Yes.
Like, hey, baby, we got this extra $50,000 laying around. What should we do with it?
What did they?
How about some life-size family portraits?
We gotta look rich like the aristocracy.
I don't want to see my face that big. I don't want to see my face in the mirror. Much less do I want to see my face that big in a portrait.
Me either. It just reminds me of the Schitt's Creek picture that they have. That
yes, I love that. Yes.
And it's like, it looks totally normal in their mansion, but then you bring it to that little small hotel and it's like, what?
Why is this here?
Their neighbors said they were nice, normal people. They said a morning prayer every morning. They traveled together. They would throw snowballs together. A young neighborhood girl said Ronald Sr. would give her rides to Brooklyn, which is where he worked. The family befriended a neighbor and comforted her when her husband died. So nice people, right?
Okay.
But behind closed doors, things were not what they seemed. Ronald managed an auto dealership, which doesn't seem like a career that would support that lifestyle. Louise's father owned the dealership, though.
Ah.
Her father is the one that bought the house for them. Her father was the one that gave them the money for the family portraits.
You're kidding me.
Right, so he took care of the family. But, I don't know, in some of those rich families, which that doesn't sound like they're the old money, but the rich families, they just kind of take care of each other. So I don't know if it's something like that.
Okay, but you know how frugal my dad is. My dad would not let us have cheese on a Whopper because it cost more.
Jeez.
Much less would I be like, hey, Dad, really need $50,000 for a life-size family portrait. And he'd be like, okay. I could be like, Daddy, I need $20 for gas. And he'd be like, where are you going?
You know, Northerners are different than us. And I don't mean to like generalize, but it seems like even though you had the immigrants that came from nothing, it's almost like once they had their come up, it was like our family has come up. You know?
Okay, well, I'm just saying, my daddy would tell you, no, you couldn't get a soda because you had drinks at home.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's reasonable, but the cheese is extreme.
No. You can have a Whopper, and if you want a Whopper with cheese, we got some cheese in the fridge.
Or you can get the regular cheeseburger.
No.
The little small one.
No, you had cheese at your house. He's not paying extra for cheese when he has cheese in the refrigerator.
I take it you're going home to eat.
Yes. You also don't eat in Daddy's car. No.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A little more behind closed doors. Ronald Sr. would abuse his family, mostly Ronald Jr. It does often seem to be the oldest that gets it. Ronald was bullied in school because he was overweight. They called him Pork Chop and the Blob.
Oh, that's sad.
I know. See, it wasn't that bad. He lost the weight by his teenage years due to amphetamines.
Oh, Lord.
I think a lot of people did that back then.
Probably.
Because they didn't know how crappy it was.
Yikes.
He abused them and alcohol as a coping mechanism, I guess, for the rough home life. As Ronald got older, he began physically fighting his father and friends.
Wow.
So, I mean, come on.
I get it, but that's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. He and his friends would get drunk and fight. I think that was kind of common back then. Not super common with everybody, but in certain friend groups. Now it would be
certain friend groups.
We're not friends now. But anyway, so they would get drunk and fight and then make up the next day. His parents thought that was a problem.
I would too.
His parents took him to a psychiatrist. He didn't think he needed to see a psychiatrist, which who does? Especially when they're young. The visit stopped, so they tried to reward and bribe him instead, giving him cash and presents, one of which was a speedboat.
You know he has mental problems.
Yeah.
And
throw
he's
money at it.
dealing with using aggression, alcohol, and amphetamines to deal with it.
I don't know that they knew about the drugs. That was probably him
Do you see my
self-medicating,
face?
you know?
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, hey, this kid's really messed up. What should we get him? A speedboat.
Right.
What? How about a horse? A therapy horse.
Well, they didn't know about that in 74.
All right. God bless their hearts.
The 70s. You know,
Oh,
we say
Lord.
that almost every time
Yeah.
I have an episode.
Yeah.
I must like the 70s.
Apparently. Speedboat.
So that didn't work.
Wow.
By 17, so this was all before 17.
Mm-hmm.
By 17, he was a heroin and LSD user and got expelled from school. Even with these problems, they continued to give him things. He received a position at his grandfather's dealership. Even though he didn't do much, he still got paid. He spent his money on the car they gave him, along with alcohol, drugs, and guns. That's problematic. Let's give a gun to the mentally ill person. Speedboat's bad, but let's get guns.
Do you see my face?
Yes, I see your face.
Mm-hmm.
One time, he pulled a rifle on a friend during a hunting trip, but later acted as though nothing happened.
Oh.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're not going to be friends.
When you put the gun down, I'm going to grab the gun and I'm going to beat you with this gun.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that same way, but sometimes you can just see some people are super crazy and it's like, let me just get out this situation.
Yes, but you pulled a gun on me
I know.
and then later you're like, nothing happened. Show me that gun.
I mean, I feel like I would, but I think reality, when I see crazy people, because you can see it in their eyes.
No,
I'm just
going
going
to
to stay away from you.
I grew up with them.
I pulled a gun on you?
Look.
Wow.
Look. Don't come at me any kind of way. No.
He also pulled a 12-gauge shotgun on his father when his father and mother were fighting. Which I've heard some stories by a couple of different men that had to check their dad.
I was going to say, like, if my dad was beating my mother, which never happened, but if it did,
yeah,
do I think my brother would go in there
and check him,
defend my mom that way? Absolutely.
Yeah, I've known quite a few guys to tell me stories, not with guns, but once they got old enough and could physically, they had to check their dad.
Right.
He actually pulled the trigger.
On his dad?
At point blank range. So he already tried to kill his dad.
But it didn't go off?
It malfunctioned. The dad was so stunned, like just in shock, which I can imagine. I would understand. You're like, oh my God, my child just tried to kill me.
Right.
Like, I knew things were bad, but wow. You know, so he just walked away.
I mean, I guess in the moment, yeah, you would have to.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to do? But, like, it wasn't discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my mom was the queen of coming in your room later and be like, sorry I was upset.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this.
That's
Much less can I imagine be like, hey, Dad, sorry that I didn't actually shoot you because the gun didn't work, but let's talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't say. I don't know that they didn't talk about it. I mean, I didn't see it anywhere where they had a conversation about it. It just said that at that moment he walked away. So, I mean, I'm assuming it's just other people telling stories because he can't tell the story because he's dead. The dad.
Yeah.
And Ronald tells multiple stories, so you don't know what's true.
Yeah. And again, if I pulled a gun on my dad and it didn't go off, would he walk away? Probably. If I pulled a gun on my mom and tried to shoot her and it didn't go off, that lady would beat the ever-living life out of me.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I would like to think I would walk away, really. Honestly, I really wish that I would because I'd be like, this person's getting Baker acted. I don't know if they had that back then, but they are going in the mental hospital now. And
my
all
mom
guns
would
are being
beat you
confiscated.
senseless.
Yes. But I know in reality, I snap. Even though his father was paying him an undeserved salary, he was dissatisfied with it and planned to embezzle money from the dealership. So they're giving me free money, basically. Let me just take some more. That's all it does is make entitled people, and I've seen that as an adult, and that ain't fun.
Yeah.
I think that's what narcissists are. I think that's part of their list of things. They just feel super entitled to everything.
Oh.
He was supposed to take $20,000, which in today's money is $100,000.
Holy crap.
To deposit at the bank. Like, his family told him to go do it because he worked there. Like, he was entrusted to do that. So he and his friend said they were robbed and split the money. The cops believed him at first, but he got angry when cops asked him further questions. They began to suspect him. So they asked him to come down to the station and look at mugshots. Ronald Sr. even suspected he was lying. He questioned Ronald, but Ronald threatened to kill his father. Again. I got my limits with my kids. It would have been a long time ago, but...
when you first tried to shoot me.
Even before that. If it's to the point where we're fighting, this ain't a healthy relationship, you got to get out. I mean, I think he was younger then, but still. I mean, but you're fighting him too, so whatever. So all the fighting came to a head on November 13th, 1974, when he shot his father early in the morning while the family slept. But he didn't stop after killing his father. He then shot his mother, then went to the 2 rooms of his siblings and shot them as well, which was on a different floor. He took a shower and got dressed for work. He collected the evidence to dispose of as he went about his day. He threw the gun and other evidence in a storm drain. He went to work at 6 a.m. He pretended not to know why his father did not show up at work. He spent the afternoon with friends, making a point to mention he couldn't get a hold of his family. Early that night is when he ran to the bar to scream for help. His friends followed him home to find the whole family murdered and called the police. That was the Scooby-Doo version. I think of that all the time.
Scooby-Doo ending.
The dude in that,
Wayne's World.
Yes. Ronald told the police he couldn't sleep, so he left for work early. He claimed he believed his family was alive when he left. He also told the police he thought it was the mafia hitman, Louis Fellini, or Fellini, I think Fellini. Since Fellini and his father, Ronald Sr., had a dispute. You don't mess with the mob.
I guess so.
Mafia, whatever.
Them wise guys.
We are not saying anything about the mafia because we do not want to get a hit on us.
No, but R.I.P. Big Ange from Mob Wives because I loved her.
What? She died?
Yes.
I love Big Ange.
Yeah, she died. You didn't know that?
No, I stopped following them a long time ago.
Yeah.
I can't do the whole reality stuff.
Yeah, she died. It's so sad. I loved her.
His story fell apart. The police found an empty box for a Marlin rifle that he had just purchased, which was the same type of rifle that was used. The police were all still in their
in their PJs?
Okay, part of it is the writing is very small. I should have brought my computer and stuck with it.
I never learned to read.
Could you imagine it's the police?
In their pajamas.
He said it was an emergency. How small is this town?
Oh, they wear pajamas. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
But do their police pajamas look like police uniforms? I am police. The family were all still in their PJs, so it was unlikely it was later in the morning, meaning Ronald would have been home when they were killed. When the police confronted him about these findings, he changed his story. Guilty ass. He claimed Fellini came early in the morning holding a gun to his head. He also said Fellini had an accomplice who took him room to room as they killed his family. I mean, his story fell apart, but guess why? Why did you still go the rest of your day?
That's what I was like, and you went to work like nothing was wrong?
No.
At least do better.
Do better with your lies. That same night, he confessed to murdering his family. He said once he started killing them, he just couldn't stop. It happened so fast. The crime gained attention because of the brutality and his pleading of insanity. He claimed self-defense and demonic voices caused him to kill his family. The expert witness for the defense said Ronald was neurotic and suffered from dissociative disorder, which would pretty much mean he wasn't responsible. The expert witness for the prosecution said he had antisocial personality disorder, meaning he was responsible for his actions.
Mm.
Which I think psychopath and sociopath, all that falls under the antisocial personality.
But you're still aware of what you're doing.
Yes. You don't care, but you're aware.
Yeah.
On November 21st, 1975, the jury sided with the prosecution's witness, finding Ronald DeFeo Jr. guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder. I don't know why that
I guess maybe because he didn't premeditate it? I don't know how that works.
I don't know. I guess maybe because once I started, I didn't stop. I mean, it was like in the moment.
We can't stop, and I won't stop.
A few weeks later, he was sentenced to 6 consecutive sentences of 25 years. His appeals were all turned down, and he died in prison in 2021. I'm always surprised that it was like, how did I not hear about this?
Yeah.
At the age of 69. Even though this is a solved, closed case, baffling details still cause people to consider it to be a mystery. How did all 6 family members get killed in their sleep without any one of them waking up?
Yeah, when you heard the shotgun go off.
Rifle.
Oh, a rifle, my bad.
That's loud.
Well, I mean, either way.
How did the neighbors not hear the 8 rifle gunshots? Why were they all in the exact same position? All face down with their hands raised over their heads.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
What was his motive to kill his entire family? He claims he drugged them at dinner, but experts say it was too long between dinner and the actual murders for this to answer this question of how he killed them all while they stayed in their beds, on different floors in different rooms. And also, why would you put them in that position? That seems weird.
I mean, face down, I get, so that you don't have to see them because they're your family.
Yeah, but you put them face down, so they had to be incapacitated in some way. Or you told them to go face down.
I was thinking you said, like, face down, put your hands up. But my thing is the gunshots. Like, how did you not hear that? Even if you put a pillow over their head and then shoot through the pillow. Because I watched John Wick, I know.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to hear that.
Yeah. Well, and I think he was pretty close because I'm going to have to double check this before I go. This is what happened. But, I think there was the gunshot residue on them. Like, he was that close to them.
Like, point blank.
He shot his mom and dad both twice. Each one of his siblings only once. It was almost like, I don't know. It's just weird.
It's disturbing.
Everything about it is just weird. He also doesn't answer why they were all face down in the same position. The fighting may be a motive to kill his father, but why kill the whole family? It was suggested a possible motive was the $200,000 life insurance policy money he would receive. Doesn't sound like enough for that, but in today's money, that's $1.2 million.
I've been mad at my family. My family is not perfect. We have familial issues. Mm-hmm. But have I ever been so mad that I was like, you know what? If I killed you, I could get some money. No. That takes a messed up person.
Yeah, you gotta be already not right in the head. And I mean, again, I could almost understand you being that upset with your dad, even though that's not the route I would take.
Yeah.
But why your mom and siblings?
Your siblings.
I've heard of some people say, they're so self-centered that it's like, well, they didn't think their kids could survive, the siblings could survive the parents being gone. So, well, let's just get rid of them too. Like, who are you to make that decision?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if that's why, but I know that's one thing I've heard. Ronald gave reasons in jail, but he changed his story many times, so none of them can really be trusted. One story even claimed that his sister and mother did some of the shootings. Since he's dead now, we'll never really know.
Wow.
So, that's the chilling tale of the Amityville murders. So, I'm going to do a part 2 about the Amityville Horror, which is what all the movies and books and everything are based off of.
Woohoo!
Woo! I don't know that I've seen the original.
What?
I know I've seen a couple of the other ones. I may have. I just don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Okay, we're going to have to watch it again.
I was just thinking we need to start doing
movie night.
Some of the movie nights. Like maybe one time you'll suggest one and then I'll suggest one and then we'll kind of review it. We could do that for Patreon.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
That would be good.
Yeah. So join us next time for part 2. Bye.
Bye. Welcome!
I'm Kristin.
And I'm Rebecca.
This is Southern Bells and Chilling Tales.
A podcast about weird stuff.
Paranormal.
Ghosts.
Other weird stuff.
Cryptids.
Again, I'm still not with it.
Aliens.
Because we're recording the same time as the other day.
Demons. Witches.
Oh, witches are fun.
Ah.
This is part 2 of the Amityville Horror. Last time we did the murders that led to the hauntings,
Yes.
question mark.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to just jump right into it. So today's chilling tale is the Amityville Horror, which is the Lutz family haunting. Let's get right into it.
Yes.
13 months after the murders of George and Kathy Lutz, I was saying, bleh, whoop, whoop. Oh, let's do this.
That was a test to see who was paying attention.
You got this. 13 months after the murders, comma, that I did not put,
Oof.
George and Kathy Lutz bought the home at a steal of $80,000, which if $20,000 was...
1.2 million.
No, that was $200,000. So
Oh,
still,
my
it would
bad.
probably be close to $500,000. Anyway,
Do math.
up north. What?
Nothing. I said math.
Oh. I'm okay with that. You don't have to not say that.
Oh, I said it twice now.
They were excited to get the beautiful 3-story home at such an affordable price. It was a dream come true, George Lutz said. The Lutz knew of the murders that happened just a year prior, but they sat down with their children and decided as a family they could handle it.
Nope.
These were small children. Like,
No.
You're not knowing about the murders.
A bunch of people were killed in this house, but it's a very good value. What do you children think? Hooray!
Urban legends, baby. That's not true. Just to be safe, the day they moved in, they had a priest bless the home. The priest went to the second-floor bedroom to bless the room, once belonging to Mark and John DeFeo. When he was sprinkling holy water, he heard a voice tell him to get out. So he did, quickly, because he's smart.
No, you are a man of God. You're there to bless a house. And you let something scare you out of the house?
He's still human. I don't know. He obviously was not a true, what do you call those things that... Exorcist.
You don't have to be an exorcist to trust God.
That's Catholicism. That's different. I mean, you
He
know...
went and had some wine.
We're taught, get behind me, demon, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Like, we can all be priests. And not really, but you know
Well,
what I mean.
yeah.
Like, we all have the
We can't. We're
power
women.
of Jesus. And I don't think in Catholicism.
Catholicism!
I need Spirit of Jesus to come. Help
Jesus
me.
is like, look, Kristin.
You know, he laughs sometimes.
He does. He's like, don't bring me into this podcast.
How many times does he shake his head?
A lot. Oh, Kristin and Becca.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Okay,
I picture
try
him as
again.
Southern. He told the family not to use the room as a bedroom, not to let anyone sleep in there, so they turned it into a sewing room. They immediately noticed paranormal activity. Did you have something to say? Your face says that you do.
Look, I tried my face. I'm working on it, okay? So the priest literally said, I'm leaving.
Your problem.
And they were like, it's fine. Let's make it a sewing room. No.
They immediately noticed paranormal activity. Not long after moving in, they all became more aggressive, causing many arguments. Strange odors would come and go. George always had the chills, feeding the fireplace constantly to keep warm. His grooming declined. It's probably the odor.
No more manscaping. The wilderness must be explored. Caw-caw!
Oh my god. This is the 70s. It was probably already...
Everything is.
Okay. So, both his and Kathy's health was declining. George would wake up at 3:15 most mornings. This is around the time the murders happened. Doors would slam shut in the middle of the night. Hundreds of flies suddenly appeared in the sewing room. I actually had that happen in my old house. I killed every one of them. It was kind of fun. I'm gonna...
See, I'd be like, out demon. Ooh, yes. I feel the spirit. Oh, yes.
You sound like one of those traveling preachers.
Exactly. That's the point.
Well, on point.
Thank you.
I was like, bring it, demon. Black stains would form in the sinks and toilets. They would find a green gel-like substance throughout the house. Up until now, I'm like, okay, but you got ooze coming out.
Photoplasm.
That's too much.
Is it photoplasm or something else? I've had wine. I don't know.
Some kind of plasm. I don't know.
I'm sorry, wine. You let me down.
Well, mine's just bipolar. So, I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. It's going to make for a really entertaining episode.
I guess. It's almost like, what's that other one?
The Atloff Pass?
Yes. I feel like that. But except I'm not as fast. Then I was like, woo!
I didn't know what you were talking about. A lot of times I was like,
But let me tell you, you faked it well.
Thank you. I've learned.
Their daughter spent all her time in her room with an imaginary friend. A red-eye pig who could change shapes and sizes.
Absolutely the fuck not.
I don't understand. Some kids are just like, I'm scared to go down that dark hallway. And then some kids are like, come in, friend.
Brantley would be the kid who's like, this is my new friend. And Jackson would be like, this is a demon, get out. Just because of their personalities.
Yeah, I feel like Haley would maybe be the one that would be like, welcome. Welcome to my room.
This is my cat. How are you?
So, strange child. They tried many times to contact a priest, but the phone would cut out each time.
But you don't have a car to go to town, or you can't take a bus?
Well, I think this was all in one night. Like, it was in the middle of the night, and they were trying to get him, like, middle of the night call.
It's the middle of the night, and I'm so messed up that there are ghosts or demons in my house that I'm trying to contact a priest. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go to the Holiday Inn.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
When they could not reach a priest, they went through the house with a crucifix reciting the Lord's Prayer. Voices begged them to stop. One night, everything came to a head. There were extremely loud noises of furniture and other things banging around throughout the house. On the floor above George and Kathy's room, the children's beds were slamming up and down. George was being held down by an invisible force, so he couldn't get to the children. He looked over to see Kathy turn into a haggard old lady and levitate over the bed. 28 days after moving in, 28 days, they ran away from the house, leaving all their belongings.
Yes, that's what they should have done.
I'm taking my stuff, though.
No, I'm not. You can have this. The ghosts can have it. If you are with my kids' beds.
The beds can stay. But I want my clothes, at least. They went without their clothes.
Fine. I'll come back and get my clothes.
I'll
get my toothbrush, because we all know how I am about my teeth.
Yeah, we need the toothbrush.
But the rest of that, you can have it. Happy hunting.
After moving out, people interested in the paranormal started contacting them. 2 months later, a reporter named Laura Didio reached out. Didio? I don't know. Wanting to gather a group of psychic researchers to investigate. Reporter Marvin Scott called in Ed and Lorraine Warren. Dun, 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 dun. He had worked with the Warrens before. For those who are unfamiliar, which I know you're not, but this is for anybody else who is. Ed and Lorraine Warren were some of the most well-known paranormal investigators, probably still.
Yeah.
Other than...
Even now.
Other than,
Don't say Zach Bagans.
And everybody knows them.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're good.
I didn't say they were good, it's so well-known. They founded the oldest paranormal research organization in the country in 1952, or at least the one that's credited. The New England Society for Psychic Research. Ed is a self-taught demonologist, author, and lecturer. Also, for those who don't know, demonology is the study of demons within theology, religious doctrine, or occultism. Lorraine is the clairvoyant and light trance medium. I was going to look up what that meant, but I was like, I don't care. But I put clairvoyance is the ability to see persons and events, past, present, or future, through extrasensory perception.
I believe a medium means that you can speak to the dead.
I just didn't care about what light trance medium meant. It's just some extra shit. You doing the most, Lorraine. Ed and Lorraine are the researchers portrayed in the Conjuring movies. These movies are chronicling some of the most well-known of the investigations. Other movies inspired by their investigations. The Annabelle movies, obviously. The Nun, Haunting in Connecticut, the made-for-TV Lost Conjuring movie, as some say, The Haunted. Annabelle the doll is currently in their Warren Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut.
Where we should go.
This is really tiny. I don't know if I'll go in there, but we'll see.
We're going.
I'll be like, how was it?
And then I'll fake it again.
Yeah, I've never faked it. We won't go down on that. Anyway.
What?
Never.
You lie.
I'm not giving out participation trophies.
Oh. Sorry, Miss Janice.
I'm not putting that
No,
on
that's going in there. That is going in. If I listen to this and that is not in there, we're done with this podcast.
You're firing me?
Yes. All right, go ahead.
The day she walked out. Dr. Lesh and Poltergeist is said to be based on Lorraine. That's kind of rumor, though.
This house is clean.
I've never seen it.
You
Okay. I was scared, okay?
What? So disappointed. Go ahead.
All right. The Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona.
La Llorona. No, we were trying to think of Madame Lalaurie. You say it, because you're better.
Madame Lori? La Lori.
Lalaurie.
La Lori.
I was going to say you're better at French, but that doesn't sound like it. The Curse of La Llorona, sort of, only in the part that it's in the Conjuring universe. They didn't actually go down there and investigate. And they're not in it. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
That's good.
I've seen them all.
Yeah, I like that one. Future films. The Conjuring 4 is happening. The Crooked Man, which is based off of... It's Conjuring 2, right? Where they went
overseas to England.
Other than the one you did, the Black Monk House, it's the most popular one between the two. And The Nun, too. And last but not least, all the Amityville Horror films.
Of course.
All 40. 6 box office films and many others just loosely based on The Haunting. And 10 books, I guess. I'm not real sure.
They wrote a lot of books.
And then the documentary, which I think is one of the sons of the Lutz family, called My Amityville Horror.
Okay.
So Ed assembled a team of reporters, investigators, and parapsychologists. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've said 3 different people have gathered a team.
Yes.
So I'm not real sure, but it was in multiple different sources that this person and that person and so on and so on. Of course, attach my notes for my sources. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
The Lutz family would not come back to the house for the investigation. The team took time-lapse photos of the upstairs landing. Only one photo showed anything strange. It was the face of a little boy peeking out of a bedroom, which if I can find that, I'll post it.
Oh, that's so sad.
Lorraine Warren recalled an overwhelming feeling of horrible depression. She also had visions of the bodies of the DeFeo family on the floor.
Ugh.
Ed was pushed to the ground while provoking spirits in the basement.
That's why you shouldn't provoke.
He's the original Zach.
Word.
It was also discovered a practitioner of black magic, John Ketchum. He had a cottage on the property before the current house was built in 1924. John is buried on the property. Before that, the Shinnecock Indians, I so apologize if that is not correct. Come at me. Just kidding.
Kristin.
Housed the sick and mentally ill on the property, leaving them to die there. The Warrens and the investigative team determined there was a demonic force present in the home. And I'm curious if this happened before or after Ronald said that he was possessed by a demon.
Demons,
and he's like, oh yeah, jump on that bandwagon.
They're like, we're going to make so many books.
Mm-hmm. Some people question the Lutz story, believing it to be a hoax. Because it was a lot. The family had legal issues, so people believe they came up with this fantastical story to make money. Their former attorney said the 3 of them came up with the idea over many bottles of wine. Of course, he probably got paid for that interview.
Yeah, a lot.
The family did pass a lie detector test, which,
is inadmissible in court, but still.
I started to do a whole little segment on that, and I was like, that's too much. And the son, Daniel, said the house ruined his life and still haunts him to this day. The Lutz sold the property and moved to California. 4 families have owned the home since then. There have been no more reports of paranormal activity. So,
that doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
They might be like me, just ignoring that. They're like, so the furniture is jumping. Who cares? Okay, so that is the chilling tale of the Amityville Horror. Paranormal, haunting, whatever.
Okay, but my question to you is, if beds are banging around, flies are all over your house, there's weird stains everywhere, are you going to stay or are you going to leave?
I wouldn't have moved in the first place because there was a murder. But
I agree.
I fully understand just from not having money, even though I know I'll be in Shantytown. But I probably would have to stay if I had to stay. You know what I mean?
No, I'd go straight to Mama's house. I'd be like, Mama, there's a ghost in my house.
I would just be like, Jesus don't want you here. Get out.
I do wonder, though, like, the people who leave these houses and then they sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you feel guilty?
For selling it to the next person?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, unless you tell them ahead of time.
I feel like arson would be the answer.
I don't know what happened.
It just spontaneously combusted. I don't know.
Yes. Ignore the gas can behind the curtain.
Exactly. Well, that was an excellent one. That's one of my favorite
I was
stories.
excited to do it. I want to do this one that I kind of just realized that Travis suggested. I thought he was just saying he drove by it and it was cool. But I'm like, I think he was kind of suggesting doing it. So I need to do it soon.
Okay.
For him. But it's about the boys' home down in Florida.
I don't know.
Okay, cool. That's a good story. Crazy story.
Oof. Well, good job.
Thank
2
you.
thumbs up. Yay!
I know they can't see that, but...
No, they can't.
Okay, make sure you follow us on the socials. That sounds so cheeseball when people say that, but
It's
whatever.
Okay. It's
On
faster.
the socials.
On the socials.
So we have some merch out there. Super excited about it.
Woo!
Put a couple of samples of the shirts on all the on Instagram. I think I put it on Twitter. Anyway, so those are just some samples. There's some more out there. I'm trying to get some tank tops put on there. I know you love your tank tops.
It's summer.
Yes. And I got to get some men's going because I know there's a few of you fellas out there. We have some mugs and some water bottles and I'm super excited about it.
Yes, stickers.
And, oh yeah, the stickers. I forgot about the stickers.
Look,
I was like, what? I processed after you said it. Anyway, so come check it out. It's on Etsy and our store name is Southern Bells CT. CT for Chilling Tales, but it's just Southern Bells CT. So come check it out.
Yay!
And join us next time for our next Chilling Tale.
Wah, ah, ah, ah.
Bye.
Bye. Every day I'm flossing.
Yeah, I'm not putting up with it. Want to fight?
Pretty scrappy. Rule number 1, we don't talk about Fight Club.
I'm like you last week. Hopefully nobody's licking anything.
That Mothman be licked. Oh, look. Stories for later. Never mind. Go.
He licked the gun after.
Oh, I've got it in my freezer.
You sound like you got plans.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a boyfriend? No, I got a pie.
That's all you need. I used to not care that much for pies, but as I've gotten older, I love them.
Are we still talking about pie?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead.
Food is better. Okay.
Saddest little clap.
Oh, yeah? There. A grammar lesson.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
It was a dream come true.
The dream come true.
I'm still high. No, I'm just kidding. I was just trying to stay calm.
Somebody please send better weed.
No, it was too good. the medicinal kind. Okay.
Oh, hello, son.
Hi.
Oh, and Olivia!
Now I've seen her
It's
face.
Olivia! Olivia, you can listen to yourself on the podcast!
Oh my gosh, so fun. Oh shit, merch!
That question of, if there was a fire, what would you grab? My bras.
I have tiny tits, and it's hard to fit.
What's that Price is Right song? Like, come on
Da-da-da,
down.
da-da-da. Oh, wait, I think that's Family Feud. I want to be a nun.
No, you don't.
I
Your most recent conversations would suggest otherwise.